My name is Andrew Kozowski, and my pronouns are he, him. The Aeolian Pride course is when it first was founded in 2016. I was an original member when the original conductor, Rod Cullum, reached out to me. I had been in one of his prior choirs, and he said, "We're starting a new choir focused on the queer community. Would you like to join?" And I thought that sounds like a great opportunity. I initially started in the baritone section, but I found that I really liked the resonant, deep parts of the bass section. So for the last 2 years, I've been singing in the bass section. So the Pride Courses was co-founded by Rod Cullum and Clark Bryan, the former executive director and artistic director of the Aeolian. And they created this opportunity that was inspired by the tradition of gay choirs throughout the world. And they thought, let's bring this to London. It's an opportunity to bring music and the queer community together and provide an outlet. And I had sang with Rod Cullum before in another choir, and he reached out to me as one of those members. And I thought this is an absolutely perfect opportunity for me to continue singing, but also to connect more with the queer community. The Pride courses has become an integral part of my life, both in terms of artistic expression from singing, but also just the community and sense of purpose of volunteering and helping out behind the scenes as well with administration and communications and things like that. I always thought like, wouldn't it be cool if this just kept going throughout my entire life and it just became a part of my entire life's journey of being a part of this and it being a part of me. So I hope this continues for a really long time. The sense of purpose, the sense of joy, and the sense of community is what keeps me coming back every week for rehearsals. I find that it's just a perfect opportunity to start my week on such a positive note of belonging and fellowship. When I'm having a week where I just am feeling a little blah, and I think the last thing I want to do is show up and spend a couple hours at rehearsal. As soon as I get there, my opinion changes completely, and I'm like, this is absolutely where I want to be. When I first joined the Pride courses in 2016, we started in the beginning of the fall, and within a month or two, a terrible tragedy happened with the Orlando Pulse nightclub shooting massacre. And that really had the whole purpose of the Pride courses hit home for me. That while we create a safe space and a place of joy and a place of artistic expression, there's so much more to this. That our community goes through both joy and pain. And when we get to experience that as a community and have our fellowship to get through it together, there's a really strong sense of what this all means. And so I benefit from a sense of connection to the greater queer community around the world and our sense of belonging, purpose, and fighting for justice together. It makes me feel like, in a little way, like I'm a part of that. I think music helps me come alive and find the true part of my identity that sometimes doesn't really come to the surface in work or family or friend interactions. I think that we all have a little bit of a creative spark within us, and that way that we express it is different for all of us. So, for me, singing and my involvement in the Pride courses allows me to touch that artistic side of me and become a part of me that I don't get to experience every day. So it's a part that I really gain a lot of joy from. And it's really nice to connect it through the Pride courses to my queer identity as well. So it's a really great opportunity to really be my full self and to feel creative, alive, and connected. I think The journey of singing from a child through to now singing as an adult with the Pride course is a really neat connection between the continuity of artistic expression through singing, but how that can change and evolve within your life journey. So initially, choir singing was very much a part of growing up in the Catholic Church and singing with the church choir. And as I came out and distanced myself from the Catholic Church upbringing, it's allowed me to continue having an artistic and community expression while still living out my individual queer self. So I think that music is something that's always been a part of my life, but it's really nice that I've been able to find ways that it's been able to evolve along with my own individual journey. The evolution of the Pride courses from initially the Pride men's chorus to an all gender, all identity choir where everyone is welcome to sing wherever they're comfortable and feel their most true self is something that I think is really unique about our chorus. And I hope that becomes a trend for other choirs that are looking to find their way of working within the evolving world that is just so open to all. I think that's such a beautiful thing about our chorus. And I think that the ability to have your individual voice as part of a greater whole and the way that the choir is a collection of individual voices all joining together, I think that is a beautiful thing. And the fact that our choir embraces that everyone can sing where they're most comfortable, regardless of their voice or identity or personal story, allows everyone to be their true self. I think I've really enjoyed the evolution that I've experienced being in the Pride courses since its founding in 2016, transitioning from a all men's choir with the Pride men's courses to an all gender, all identity choir. It's allowed me to embrace and see the full beauty of the queer community through its many different identities. And I think it's allowed me to branch beyond the stereotypical gay community and really experience the new worlds that are things that I hadn't experienced before and meet people that have such really amazing stories that I've really come to love and really broaden my friend group, my connection group, and learn more about the full spectrum of the queer community. More than a community within a choir, the fact that we are all bonded together within the Pride courses as allies and people who identify within the queer community itself, there's a sense of camaraderie, allyship, and solidarity together. The queer community goes through so many experiences, both individually within our own life journey, but together as the whole. And having a sense of a collective that we get to experience that together through. Not only do you get individual support for your own life journey, but you get to rally together and have a ability to find a voice together to respond to the joys and traumas that we're experiencing in the world today, both within the queer community and just the world as a whole. So having a home, having a place where we feel like we can do something together in our small way to make a difference locally and globally. I think that is really why I value being part of this group. And farther than that, I have just met some of my greatest, best friends through the Pride courses who are a part of my life every day. And they've been a part of my journey and have lifted me up. And hopefully um, they think the same. I think there's really nothing like music to really convey something that you can't necessarily voice through your own thoughts. Um, we just connect with music in such a really deep way. Whether we're singing or humming along to a popular song on the radio or just listening to something inspiring through classical music and connecting with the composer or the artist who's performing it. But then joining a part of a choir and having the ability to add your own voice to something, um, I think it just allows you to connect through what you're experiencing in the day. And music can bring you up, it can bring you down, it can provide you peace or excitement. We sing such a great variety of different songs within the Pride choruses that you get to experience that whole spectrum of emotions. And then performing it live at a concert in front of an audience that's your community is just such an otherworldly experience of confidence, joy in yourself, and a celebration of not only the artistic side of the music, but what we stand for as a chorus in the queer community. So I think music is just something that takes your life experience to a whole other level. And to be able to create that with a group that I love is just such an enriching experience. For anyone who's curious about the Prague courses, I think one thing that you would really find if you've ever gone to one of our concerts and or heard our YouTube videos and thought, what would it be like to actually join? The thing that you get that you don't get when you're just listening to our concerts is the sense of community. And I think that is the greatest part of the Prague courses. It's a place where everyone, regardless of their identity, personal story, or just sense of self, can belong. It's a place really for anyone. And the simple line that's repeated several times throughout the song of people who need people are the luckiest people in the world is, I think, the very essence of what the Pride Courses brings to me and hopefully the rest of our community. Um, we're a choir, and that means that we're more than one person. So I think that we grow so much greater when we combine everyone's voices and everyone's unique story and become something even greater together.